Welcome to Kendra's Artistic Crochet Designs. And yes, it is that time again. We are at the May calendar blanket. We are going to add on our May. And this blanket is so beautiful. I love it. It is turning out better than I thought it was going to, actually. And I really love teaching these stitches. So we today we are going to use the alternative puff stitch, and so that is number 7 in our 63 easy to crochet pattern stitches that we have been doing on Tuesdays. So I had decided to add some of these stitches in that we have already learned. So, with that being said, we're going to chain 1, and I have already put on the Premier Basics worsted, and this is called Leaf. So, I'm using this yarn for this. And to start out, we're on the corner, so we are going to do 2 single crochets in this corner. And we are going to make 5 single crochets in each stitch. Put 1 single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches, sorry. So we have 5 stitches there. Alright, so now we are going to make a puff stitch, okay? So we are, let's see, we're going to yarn over, pull the yarn up. We have 3. Yarn over, pull the yarn up. Now you have 5, right? Yarn over, pull the yarn up one more time, and we're pulling it up. And then we're going to we should have 7 loops on our hook. Okay, you're going to pull through all 7, chain 1. All right, so now we're going to single crochet in the next. Let's do single crochet in every 5. So we're just going to do 5 in between. Okay, so we're going to single crochet in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and now we're going to do a puff stitch in the next. All right, so here we go. And there we go. Chain 1 to hold it. Now we're going to single crochet in the next 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here we go. Let's do a puff stitch, and we'll do it slowly. So we're going to wrap our hook, go into the stitch, bring out a loop. Wrap our hook, go back into the stitch, bring out a loop. Wrap your hook, bring it out a loop. They're doing that 3 times, and then we're just going to go through all 3 and slip. We're going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch. Okay, so now we're going to put a single crochet in each stitch, or in the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then you're going to do that again. And we're just going to continue along and repeat that. I love repeating stitches. It's so easy that way. All right. Get everything all situated here. Get some more yarn coming out of there. It's a new skein, so yarn doesn't flow out of there freely at first. Alright, so I got 3 single crochets. I need 2 more. And we're going to put another puff stitch in the next stitch. And there you go. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see these puff stitches? You see them? Looks pretty cool. Alright. And now let's do another puff stitch because we made 5, right? So it's puff stitch time. Alright, now we need 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so you're just going to continue that way down the side. I do not want to bore you with this. So remember, when you continue doing this, when you get to your corners, you're just going to do 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet in the corners. And then you were going to, right after the corner, just like we did here, you're going to do your 5 single crochets and then do your puff stitch after that. And then you're on the second row. I'm going to let you finish this and I'm going to finish mine. On the second row, all we're doing is single crocheting all the way around it. Okay? And then I will, and we're still doing 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet in the corners. Okay? So then we will be back. When I come back, we're going to do the 3rd row. So we should have the 1st and 2nd row done by the time we get back. And I will see you then. Bye-bye now. Okay. Sorry, we're still on the 1st row. I am back. So I went through this one side and we want 5 stitches before and after the corner, right? So we end up with 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We ended up with 8 stitches. So this is what we're going to do. We want 5 stitches. So we're going to get rid of 3 of them somehow. So I went back and I put 1 stitch in, and I am doing an invisible decrease. Okay. So we're going to go in the front loop of this stitch and the front loop of the next stitch. Bring your yarn through and make a single crochet. I'm going to do it again. Front loop of the 1st stitch and the front loop of the 2nd stitch and bring it through. We're going to do that one more time because we had to get rid of 3 stitches. So front loop of the 1st stitch and the front loop of the next. These are called invisible decreases. So you never even know that we did that. And then we get to the corner and we are going to chain 2. We're going to 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet. And as I said, you're going to start out with 5 single crochet after the corner. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to, so if you come across that, I would just, we're going to make it or break it at this point. Just get rid of those stitches and just decrease them like that. You would never even know that you had a decrease because when you do an invisible decrease, you can't see it. And I love it. It's one of my thing that I just learned this year doing amigurumis, how to do invisible decreases. Love it. So anyway, okay, with that, we will be back after the second row. I just wanted to kind of show you that, okay? We'll see you later. Bye-bye now. Okay, we're back. I decided that I'm going to do row 2 with you. Show you because we got to make some changes. So remember, I am designing this blanket on the fly. I have no idea how this is going to come out. So we're just designing here on the fly. We're going to chain 1 after we have connected everything with this. When you make these puff stitches, you want to push them out. Otherwise, they'll be pushed to the back. So we want to push them to the front so that we can see the puff stitches. Okay. And also, so this is how we're going to do 2, because I've changed this. Okay. We are going to just 1 single crochet in the corner, chain 2, 1 single crochet. All right. That is only on 2. So we are going to just single crochet in each one of these stitches. And I want to show you, once we get to the puff stitch, this is very, very important. This is the puff stitch right here. This is the chain 1 on top of that puff stitch. So what we are going to do is we are going to skip this and go into the chain 1. We do not want to add stitches in there. Okay. So it looks better if you just go into the chain 1 and then continue. We're skipping the puff stitch. This is the puff stitch. This is the chain 1. We're just going into the chain 1 right here. And then continue with your single crochets. And I'm skipping that. Going into the top of the puff stitch, which is the chain 1. And as you go through these, kind of push them out. And here we go. Skipping this, going in the top of this puff stitch, which is that chain 1 that we made at the top. Okay. And do that all the way down to the corner, and in the corner we're just going to do 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet in each corner. Okay, and then I will be back for row 3. All right, bye now. Okay, so we are back. All right. Our third round now. All right, so our third round, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to continue just doing one single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet in the corners for this. Okay, so we are going to do the next 5 single crochets. So 1 single crochet in the next 5 single crochets. So there's 3, 4, 5. And I want to show you. That is going to land this puff right here before this one. And that is what we want. So we're going to wrap our hook. Do this puff 3 times just like we did before. And you guys know how to do puffs by now. When you do these, just push them forward. Alright, now we're going to do a single crochet in the next 5. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to put the puff right there. Okay. Will that land that right there where I want it? Or do I want the puff here? Alright, so let's do 6. Alright, now we're going to do a puff. Did I do? Yeah. Alright. Now let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're pretty much, I want the puffs to be in the middle of, in between the puffs, okay? So that is what we're trying to do. But it looks like we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we can also do it this way too. Let me show you. I want the puffs to be right in the middle. So let's look in between these puffs right here and find the middle. And it's right there. So what we can do is take stitch markers and mark that's the stitch we want to do puffs. And just go through. So look in between here, find the middle, kind of eye it out. You want it right in the middle. There it is. So our stitch count in between may not be the same every time. But I think it might be easier for us to mark where we think the middle is, where it looks the best. Because, you know, you want your puff stitches to be right in the middle of the two. And this one right there would be the middle. You see what I'm doing? I'm just putting these, just marking the middle in between the two puff stitches. With the stitch, that's where I'm going to put the puff stitch, right? So go all the way down and mark the middle in between the puff stitches, and then that way we won't have to count either that much. So we're just going to do single crochets until we get to our, and now we're at, we'll take that out, and I know I'm putting a puff stitch in there. And then just keep going. And then we're not going to have to count. How about that? Alright. We have a puff stitch in here. Just keep going until you get to the next puff stitch, which is right there. All right. Or the next stitch marker. Put a puff stitch in there. And as you make these puff stitches, just push them forward because they want to go back automatically. So we just push your puff stitches forward as you make them. So, okay, I'm going to have you finish that, and I will finish mine off camera. So we are going to do row 3. This is row 3. We'll have you finish row 3 and then do row 4, which is the exact same as row 2. Just remember this stitch before the puff stitch, we're skipping it. And then we're just going to go in the top of the puff stitch. And we're going to skip this false stitch. Okay? Because that's a false stitch. It's not a real stitch. So that's why we're skipping it, and we're going to go in the top of it, okay, when you get to your puffs. That way we're not adding on stitches, and that will really make our blanket wonky if we did that. So, okay, we'll be back then after we're done with that. Okay, see you soon. Okay, so we are back. So what we have done in the last 4 rows is we've repeated row 1 and row 1 and row 2. So that is all it takes, is to repeat row 1 and 2. And I'm hoping, let's see if this works. And we're just going to do the same on where we're doing in the corners is 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that if that works. Yep, that works. All right, so we are going to, in row 3, we did 5 from the corner and then did our little, what do you call that, puff stitch. Sorry. So we did 5 stitches from the corner and then did the puff stitch, okay? And then we did puff stitches in between, right in between right? So when we get to the other corner, we want to make sure our next puff stitch is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back. So it's actually the 6th stitch back. 5th or 6th, whatever looks right to you. It really doesn't matter. It's whatever looks right to you, you know, just so that they're alternating. Okay, it's called the alternate puff stitch, and we want to alternate them. So that's the only thing that you'll have to make sure that when you go to the row you're doing your puff stitches is to make sure they're alternate from, and they're right in the middle of these two. So it looks like it's going to work out just like that. I love it. Okay. So, and I think that we are going to just keep repeating row 1 and 2 for 12 rows. So let's try 12 rows. And we will be back after 12 rows and see if that is what we need to do. So I will see you again later. I'm going to work my stitches off camera and let you do the same. So we're just going to repeat rows 1 and 2 until we get to 12 rows. Okay, we'll see you later. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, so we are getting ready to finish up our blanket. And I know I said 12 rows, but 10 rows was good enough to put an applique on it. So I just went with 10 rows. So it'd be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, so 10 rows. And then we need to put our white round of double crochets in it. And once you do that, we're going to go back to the corner where you're doing 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in the corners. And then after we get that done, we are making tulips appliques. So this is my sewing on yarn. Anyway, Jada and Stitches on YouTube has a very good tutorial on how to do this. And this is her tulip applique. And I thought that these would look nice in the corners. Make the tulip applique and then sew them in the corners. Because I don't think I'm going to put anything in the sides because these baubles are so pretty that I don't want to cover them up. So I really love the way that came out. So I'm going to make 4 tulip appliques and sew those on each corner. And all you have to do from here then is put your white yarn on, or whatever yarn you've got dividing your stitches or your different sections, and sew on your tulips. And you'll get that on Jada and Stitches. Just go to her channel. She has a very good tutorial, and I can't do better than she can. So I'm going to let you find her tulip applique tutorial, or anybody else's that you would rather have. It's up to you. There's a lot of tulip applique tutorials on there, and they're all made differently. I was doing some research on them, and Jada's was easy, was really easy, so I went with it. So that is going to conclude our May blanket, and I hope you're having a lot of fun doing this blanket with me. But I believe this blanket is coming out so beautifully. I love the way it's coming out. So I was happy with the stitches that we put on it this time around, and it worked out well. So, and there you go. And that'll be the end of this May. I will see you in June for the next section. So thank you for watching. Have a great day, and bye-bye now.